Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So Jesus is a character that was on The Walking Dead for a few seasons, and right in the middle of season 9, literally in the mid-season finale, his character was killed off. He was killed by a Whisperer, which was basically the introduction to the Whisperers, who are currently the main villains on the show right now. And Jesus seemed to have a close bond with Aaron, and in the comics, they are straight up romantically involved. Aaron moves on from Eric in the comics, and he stays with Jesus. And they actually survive the comics and get a happy ending, and they're together in a 20-year time jump, and they're in their 50s, and they're still together, and they get a happy ending. But in the show, some of the similar things happen. It's kind of heavily implied that Aaron moves on from Eric after Eric died. You know, after a few years, Aaron started to move on from Eric, and Aaron and Jesus started to have a romance. Now, we never really saw them be together on screen. We didn't see them kiss or anything. They had a bond because there was a 6-year time jump during season 9, and after the 6-year time jump, Aaron and Jesus seemed to have a close bond, and it was kind of implied that they were romantically together, or at least they had feelings for each other, and that maybe their romance was about to start, or it had started, we just didn't really see much of it, and it was kind of cut short because Jesus was killed off just a couple of episodes after the 6-year time jump, so we didn't really see much of Aaron and Jesus, as opposed to the comics where they were together for a long time. But a lot of fans weren't even sure that they were together at all. It seemed like they were about to get together, but Jesus died before they could express their feelings for each other. But it's possible that their romance was just off screen. And apparently, the actor that plays Aaron, Ross Marquand, he had an interview, and he confirms that their romance was indeed off-screen. So according to him, there actually was a romance between Aaron and Jesus. We just didn't really see much of it. We didn't see them kiss or really be together or anything. But it's interesting. This is what he says. I think it was kind of alluded to in points. Tom Payne and we discussed it, and we thought they probably were romantic at some point during the 6-year time jump. We didn't know how that was going to look exactly, but we sort of alluded to it. We decided it only made sense because of their camaraderie, and they're very similar. They're both the recruiters for their respective communities. They have a lot in common. When he loses Jesus in the cemetery with all the Whisperers, I think it just destroys him, because everybody he gets close to, they just end up dying horribly. That's the show, though. You love to watch all these people. Oh, here's some people, and then they die. And then he goes on to say that it's a good thing that even though they get a happy ending in the comics, and Aaron and Jesus are together in the comics, and it seems like they're going to possibly grow old and die together, because that's their ending, and that's the ending of the comics. But Ross Marquand says here that it's kind of a good thing that they sort of remixed it and changed it up. But this is what he says about that. I think that Scott Gimple and Angela Kang took as much as they could from the source material to honor it, but they wanted to make sure it was different enough so that readers of the comic, like myself, wouldn't know what was going to happen every single step of the way. I think it's really important to keep an audience surprised every week, and that's what I love. In the comics, it's Rick and Abraham that discover Aaron, and in the show, of course, it's Maggie and Sasha. People get taken out of certain storylines, added to certain storylines, and I love that because it stays true to what the comics is all about, but also keeps everything very exciting and fresh for the viewers, I think. So that's interesting. I do think it was kind of an interesting remix to kill off Jesus in Season 9. I honestly thought his death in Season 9 was pretty cool, and it was a pretty cool way to introduce the Whisperers. I mean, yeah, they could have kept Jesus alive, and they could have had a Jesus-Aaron romance for seasons and seasons. But for one thing, the actor that plays Jesus wasn't really happy with the part, and I think he was wanting to leave. He told the writers that he was wanting to leave, so that might have been a part of why they killed him off earlier. And I honestly agree with the actor that plays Jesus. Like Tom Payne, I kind of agree with him that because they weren't doing very much with him. And I think that was kind of the main problem with Jesus. They had him for 4 years on the show. He had been on the show since season 6. and he didn't really do very much. He had a cool fight with Morgan in season 8, and then in season 6 he tells Rick and everyone to let's go and wipe out this whole outpost of people in their sleep. Not even taking the time to look at every individual person and see if they were actually bad or not. Let's just go ahead and kill them in their sleep. Let's go ahead and kill them in their sleep. And that's what they do. They kill a bunch of people while they're sleeping at an outpost. And then he goes from that to season 8, where out of nowhere he's like, let's all be peaceful, let's all be together. Hey Tara, don't kill this savior that tried to murder you 3 times. Let's have him be a prisoner. Let's have peace. Like, it was just kind of out of nowhere. And then in the back half of season 8, he was barely in it. He wasn't even in it at all. In the comics, he has all these cool moments in All Out War, and they just didn't do any of it. They didn't really do anything with Jesus. And season 9 was the first season where I feel like Jesus' character had cool material and they were giving him cool moments, but maybe it was too little too late. Maybe it was just too much damage was done and Jesus just needed to die because his character just didn't work that well. Overall, I'm really not against Jesus' death, and as far as that remix goes, I'm not against that remix. I think it was a good remix to have from the comics, and killing Jesus off and introducing the Whispers in that fashion was a cool moment. So ultimately, I'm not against his death. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now I am at 638 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 700 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 700. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.